What does a little girl do when she loses the most precious thing in the world? After Layla lost her mother, the world of love and trust suddenly turned dark. But the reality was not at all what she expected. When Layla was a little girl, she lived a happy life with her family. Her mother was very fond of her and always fulfilled her every wish. She was raised with so much love and care that everyone who knew her said what a wonderful mother Carolyn was. Layla lost her mother at an early age and went to live with her father. Carolyn was not aware of things because she was still young, but they had an aunt, Martha, who helped them and was always there for them. Martha brought them food every evening, did the laundry and did the housework. Layla's older brother Darnell worked as a machine operator in a factory. He was a man who didn't show his feelings, who didn't express much emotionally. Years passed like this, until one day their neighbor Mrs. Robinson stopped Darnell on the street and said to him, "Darnell, how are you? You're not alone, are you? No mother, all these years have passed. You need a woman now, you need to get your house in order. But you know, it's not easy to find anyone who will take us in. I got a kid of my own who's gonna take care of us. Darnell, you're a strong man, you can handle anything. And your daughter is beautiful, who wouldn't want her? I know a woman, Gail, she was married before, but she couldn't have children, so she got divorced." For the first time in years, Darnell's face showed emotion. I think it was excitement or happiness. He hadn't felt like this for a long time. He accepted the offer, but he didn't tell anyone yet. He had to see and meet her himself first. They agreed to meet in a tea garden. Darnell started to take care of his appearance, combed his hair for the first time, and put on some cologne. Layla smelled her father's perfume and said, "You smell nice today, Daddy." For Darnell, this brought a deep sense of happiness. Gail took her place in the tea garden, dressed in a pink dress, her hair neatly done. They chatted there for about 4 hours that day. They told each other about their lives and shared their hopes for the future. Everything went well. They felt they were a perfect match. Darnell immediately ran to his Aunt Martha. "If you will be happy and Layla will be well looked after." "Why not?" Layla met Gail, a woman so warm and kind that she immediately accepted her like a mother. From the outside, everything seemed perfect, and they were married immediately. Gail arranged her own room the way she wanted it and began to mother Layla. Layla became happier and happier every day. She ran to Gail with the smallest problems and shared her worries. But one day Darnell came home to find Gail unconscious in her bed. "Honey, are you okay? Is everything okay?" he asked, putting a cold washcloth to her face. "I think my blood pressure dropped," Gail said weakly. He said she needed to go to the hospital right away, and Darnell drove her there. When they got to the hospital, the doctor smiled and said, "Congratulations, you are becoming a mother." Gail and Darnell looked at each other in amazement and said, "That's impossible. I was diagnosed with infertility years ago. How can this be?" It really was a miracle, and they were both so happy. They were so happy that when they returned home, they forgot about Layla. Over time, Darnell and Gail focused only on the new baby. Layla became more and more independent every day. She took care of her own needs. When she needed something, she no longer turned to anyone. She grieved and wept alone. Gail's patience ran out, and she took out all her anger on Layla. Layla didn't tell her father or her aunt what had happened. She didn't want to say anything bad to anyone. She was such a kind-hearted person that she didn't want to upset others. Even if it upset her, she would just sigh and get up again. After the baby was born, Gail's bad behavior increased. Now Layla was completely ostracized and forgotten. Over time, she was heartbroken and bitter. Layla grew up and became a beautiful girl. Finally, she married a worthy man like herself. Yes, there were years of hardship, but at last she had a shoulder to lean on. Layla's half-brother Tyrell, on the other hand, was a maverick. He drank alcohol and came home late at night. He didn't listen to his mother or his father. One day when Layla knocked on his door, she saw her father, his eyes bloodshot and panting, coming up the stairs. She let him in immediately. "Dad, what happened? Why are you crying?" His father said, "Tyrell's been getting us into trouble. Last night he threw a vase at your mother. She collapsed. She's out on her feet. I don't know what to do, Layla. Please help us," he cried. Layla embraced her father despite everything. "Even when you and my stepmother abandoned me, I will always take care of you," she said. She talked to her husband and took her family with her, and he learned something: every action, good or bad, comes back one day. This story shows how important it is to be patient in the face of evil and to appreciate goodness.